Good morning, and thank you for having me at today's board meeting. Anyone who has learned about or is in the business of supplying electricity knows the power law. Watts equals voltage times amperage, or power equals voltage times current. And I want you to keep this formula in the back of your mind because you're going to need to think back to it in a few minutes. As my time in leadership organizations increases and my opportunities to speak to large audiences come and go, I see success in different ways than I did even a couple of years ago. Ken Blanchard was a world-renowned leadership expert who ran a very successful business, and he once said leadership is not about you, it's about investing in the growth of others. And he means that he saw even more success after investing in the youth and coworkers around him. Every day that I continue to invest my time in making the world around me a better place to live, I am in turn helping myself by ensuring a bright future. So you might be asking yourself, Cole, what are you trying to tell me? And what I'm trying to tell you is we must continue to invest in sending youth leaders on youth tour and motivate youth leaders in our communities to take every opportunity they can to make themselves better, as in turn, you're making a difference in the lives of our future. A lot of people will tell you that they're worried for our future because they aren't sure that our youth will be prepared to enter the workforce. But the only way you can motivate them is with your story and experience. The more youth and coworkers that we can impact, the brighter future we will all be able to have. The more food we can produce for a growing population, the more electrical engineers there will be to solve our problem of an aging electrical grid that cannot handle future population growth. We need to invest our time and energy into the people of the future to be able to indirectly change the future, and consequently, the world. To give you a business perspective, what seems like a poor investment for you to take time out of your day, because we all know that time is money, to motivate kids to do, personally may be the greatest investment you can make for your community and for the world. I want to give you an analogy for what you are doing when you send a student to youth tour or tell them how they can achieve their largest endeavors. As most of you know, the largest problem facing the world with electricity is how to generate it the most efficiently without harming our ecosystems. We've used the burning of coal, the natural power of water current flowing into a wheel, the turning of a generator by a windmill, solar power, and many other ways. And like electricity, society needs to help youth turn the crank, to generate a spark that will inevitably blow into a powerfully burning flame of passion. And each one of you can turn the crank and generate efficient and productive leaders who will use their newly motivated drive to make a positive difference in society. Now, I'm not here today to ask you to donate more than you already have to youth organizations and youth tour as a cooperative, but rather to create an illustration of how your investment in youth tour affects more than just a handful of teenagers that attend it. Simply by investing your time in this speech, you're opening your eyes to see the perspective of our society's youth, and that alone will prepare you to motivate others. Congratulations, your new motivation to motivate others is the return on your investment. I found through some deep soul searching that I find joy and passion in helping my teammates or coworkers or classmates in any way for a team goal. I think that's a part of why high school can be so beneficial for a student transitioning into adulthood or into a college setting. Because I had the opportunity to attend youth tour, I only gained a deeper passion for the best team on earth, Team America. Every monument we visited, and every historical podium I took the time to read gave me a greater understanding of how privileged I am to be an American citizen and reminded me that this country was built on blood, sweat, and tears. That as a country, just as in life, we've gone through grieving, growing pains, more grieving, family issues, and have found new issues each day that need resolving. Luckily, you've helped inspire 32 Montana high schoolers who are about to enter the workforce to not only solve these problems, but work together to do so. Because 32 Montana students have the opportunity to attend youth tour, you've instilled a riveting, deep passion for our country and everyone who lives within our borders. Because 32 Montana students had the opportunity to speak with our state representatives in the legislature, we sparked deep conversations on problems of today and tomorrow. Because 2 rural Sun River Electric kids had the opportunity to attend youth tour, they brought back to their community what rural youth need. Passionate people who love their country, their state, and most importantly, rural America and everything it stands for, to lead. Everyone that went on youth tour with me were of different areas of our state, had varying opinions in politics and controversial issues that usually aren't on most people our age's radar. But we came together and made friendships and connections nationwide with people we had never seen or heard of before. For those of us on the trip that knew each other, we created a sustainable friendship based on the fact that as rural Montanans, we care about each other no matter what. To you, members of the board, I thank you for your generous donation yearly to Youth Tour, I would like to tell you honestly that because of people like you who truly do care about rural America and to sustain our society and small communities, your investment has affected me in the same ways, but even more. Believe it or not, my passions tie deeply with those of electric cooperatives. I'm deeply passionate about agriculture, Montana's #1 industry, and energy. I worry that if our generation cannot be educated about the issues revolving around American energy and agriculture, we will not be able to sustain a growing population that keeps coming up with more problems, as if there aren't enough to go around already. By providing the opportunity to give students and youth in general a voice in our world, we can solve those problems more efficiently in the future. I believe that the morals of a hard day's work, helping a neighbor out when they're struggling, and working together to build strong communities are incredibly important to the infrastructure of human society and should come to mind before and after every task you complete. Washington, D.C. will be the greatest trip I will have ever had the honor of partaking in my life. Sure, it was fun to see the sights, but truly have a say in how this nation can solve its problems is something truly special. Almost 100 years ago, those of the past who built this cooperative, who built America, and who I look up to as I move throughout day-to-day life, shed those drops of blood and beads of sweat to trailblaze. My #1 goal in life is to trailblaze. I don't care who gets the credit. I just want to make sure that I can make the world a better place in every activity I participate in. And because I, a rural Montana kid, got to attend Youth Tour, I've realized that I am in a very large debt to society for making me who I am today. I, just as all youth, am like a ball of clay. You, who invest in youth, have the opportunity to shape that ball of clay into the right shape to make society a better place. People like you have the opportunity to shape that clay into the world around it. And when you get the opportunity to shape a young student's life, that ball of clay, do it. And do it to the best of your abilities. Let's circle back to the beginning. Remember when I talked about the power concept? Every one of us has the power to grow, learn, and lead. We find ourselves in positions of power, but we have the most power when we make a positive difference in the lives of youth and those who are near to us in our business or in life in general. Remember, power isn't always just about watts. Suppose we invest our time and energy into inspiring the next generation of leaders, of agriculturalists who feed us, mechanics who fix for us, of bankers who fund us, and of doctors who heal us. In that case, we gain a new power, the power to change the world. One Youth Tour kid, one scholarship application, and one young leader at a time. Remember earlier when I talked about molding the clay? The tools you use to shape it don't have to be expensive or fancy. All it takes is a strong yet gentle hand of guidance. You just have to have the ability to take a few seconds to tell a high school kid about an internship they might be interested in, or give a speech on how you have grown throughout your career to aspiring business owners and administrators. Electric cooperatives already do so much for their community, but each one of us, solitarily, have the power to impact individuals who may just change the world, but just need a little help to get there. If you can remember the power concept every time that you see a youth leader who may not know where to start their journey to becoming the best version of themselves, and can apply the powerful voltage of motivation to create the strong flowing current to push them down the pathway to success, you will be doing the world the greatest favor that I believe a person can do. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you all today, and I hope that you and your families have a very Merry Christmas, and I hope that you can remember the power concept. Thank you.